Hello everyone, my name is Brett Murphy and I will be your host for Rec Hub Sports News. In this video, I'll be breaking down everything you need to know from the week of June 15th in the Rec Hub Society Floor Hockey League. For this week, we're going to do things a little bit differently. Rather than looking at the previous week's games, we're going to dive a little deeper into the stats and the upcoming week's games. We'll start off with the current standings before we head into the top point getters and this upcoming week's games. This week's update shows what is likely the biggest shift in the standings we have seen so far. To no one's surprise, the Rusty Pigeons remain at that top spot, with the Floor Hogs behind them by a whopping 14 points. Making their way into the top 3 for the first time is the Purple Cobras, who managed to slither past the Black Rock Bulls to gain a 2-point lead, though the Bulls hold strong in 4th place with 42 points, while the Raiders have fallen down to 5th place with 36 points, at risk of falling even lower as the Seagulls and Chiefs are hot on their heels with 30 points each. Speaking of the Seagulls and Chiefs, things get mighty interesting from these two teams and below. The Seagulls and Chiefs are deadlocked in 6th and 7th place, followed by the Royal Huskies with 28 points, the Sailors with 27, and the Sunnyvale Superstars with 26. Though it looks like there's a bit of a gap between Sunnyvale and the Rampage, who have 22 points, looks can be deceiving, because if you direct your attention to their record, the Rampage have only played 12 games and are 11-1-0. Alright, let's switch things up and dive into some of the stats. Given that we won't be looking at this week's scores, we'll do a bit of extra digging here, and if it's something you like, we'll continue incorporating it into future episodes. Given that we actually have 2 weeks worth of stats implemented into these graphics, Josh McCaskill has since passed a staggering 250 points and firmly holds on to first place. Following him is Jordan Moss, who is nearing 200 points, then Sam Gillis with 131, and Ben Gillis with 118, though Stevie Clark has moved up into the top 5 and is gaining on the top 4 with 116 points. The remainder of the top 10 is rounded out by Jake McDonald, Nathaniel Fuller, and Connor Campbell of the Rusty Pigeons, Cole Pygel of the Black Rock Bulls, and Drew McIntyre of the Purple Cobras. Let's take a quick glance at the guys just behind these guys in the point leader race, and see who is in the running to break into that top 10. I'll be the first to admit this race is a lot tighter than I thought it would be. Just behind the 10th place Connor Campbell with 85 points is Kinnan Williams with 82 points. Though there's a bit of a point gap between him and the next player, things get pretty intense from then and below. Dylan McLeod has 76 points, Aiden Stanwyck has 75, Dylan McDonald also has 75, Keegan O'Neill has 71, Ethan Stanwyck has 70, Jeremy Guthrow has 69, nice. Blake Snow has 68, Dylan O'Neill also has 68, and then Keegan Kravanke rounds us out with 63 in 20th place. Jumping over to the goal leaders, Jordan Moss continues to maintain a small lead over McCaskill, with just 5 goals separating the Rusty Pigeon teammates. Behind them is Sam Gillis with 65, then Stevie Clark of the Northside Chiefs with 64, and rounding out our top 5 is Ben Gillis with 56. The back half of the top 10 includes Jake McDonald and Nathaniel Fuller of the Pigeons, Dylan McLeod and Dylan McDonald of the Floor Hogs, with Kevin McNeil of the Royal Huskies making an appearance at 10th place. Beyond the top 10 is an incredibly close race, with Colin Kelly of the Velociraptors actually tied with Kevin McNeil of the Royal Huskies with 40 goals apiece. Below him is Davis McGinnis with 39, Aiden Stanwyck with 38, Keegan O'Neill, Jeremy Guthrow, and Tyson LaFrance are all tied with 37. Then Dayton Kosnick with 36, Kinnan Williams and Dylan O'Neill with 35, and a lowly sailor by the name of Brett Wilcox in 20th with 34. When it comes to assists, Josh McCaskill towers above the rest with 135 assists, followed by Jordan Moss with 74, Sam Gillis with 66, Ben Gillis with 62, and Stevie Clark in 5th with 53. Cole Pygel, though tied with Clark at 53 assists, sits in 6th place. 2 Purple Cobras appear in 7th and 10th place, Connor Campbell of the Pigeons is in 8th, and Kinnan Williams in 9th. Though a couple of folks in 11th and beyond have a shot at entering the top 10, the race isn't quite as intense as the other categories. In 11th is Jake McDonald with 45, 12th is Nathaniel Fuller with 44, and then from Blake Snow of the Rampage with 37 and below, we drop down to the mid to low 30s. Now, here's a quick glance at the updated goaltending stats. If you'd like to go through these in more depth or see the stats of every other player in the league, you can visit the Rec Hub Society Floor Hockey League's Facebook page. Alright, let's close things out by taking a look at some of the matchups ahead of us for the week of June 22nd. Which only includes June 22nd, as all of the high school proms and graduations will be taking place at those play spaces. Congratulations to all those graduating, by the way. Whether it's you, your kid, brother, or cousin, you did it. So give yourself or them a pat on the back. Alright, to start us off, the Pigeons have back-to-back massive games, as they take on the second place Floor Hogs and the only team to ever beat them, the Rampage. The Sailors look to climb their way back up in the standings as they go toe-to-toe with the now 5th place Raiders and the 7th place Chiefs, who are just 3 points ahead of them. The Seagulls will look to break their tie with the Chiefs when they face off against the Floor Hogs and the team just 2 points below them, the Royal Huskies. The Huskies are also hoping to win that game along with their matchup against the Black Rock Bulls to try and close that gap. Sunnyvale also looks to make some headway in the standings, with them being just 1 point behind the Sailors and 2 points behind the Huskies, when they face off with the Black Rock Bulls and the Raiders. And the Purple Cobras hope to hold on to their 3rd place spot when they go against the last place Velociraptors and the quickly rising Rampage. And that wraps us up for this week's Rec Hub Society Floor Hockey League recap. Don't forget to follow the Rec Hub Society on Facebook and subscribe to the YouTube channel where recorded games will be uploaded and recaps just like this one can be seen.